Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, to promptly disclose the exact amount of the monthly running costs of millions of naira currently being paid to and received by members of the National Assembly, and the spending details of any such running cost. Now, SERAP also urged them to promptly end the alleged practice by the National Assembly of fixing its own salaries, allowances, and running costs in conformity with the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended and the country's international obligations. SERAP urged them to end the alleged practice of paying running costs into personal accounts of lawmakers and to refer the alleged misuse or mismanagement of running costs to appropriate anti-corruption agencies for investigation and prosecution where there is relevant admissible evidence. We also have reports that SERAP has urged them to promptly disclose the total amount of running costs that has so far been paid to and received by lawmakers, and to ensure the return of any misused or mismanaged public funds. In the letter that was dated 17th August 2024 and signed by SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization said, "We are concerned about the practice by the lawmakers of fixing their own salaries, allowances, and running costs, and the opacity and in the spending of millions of naira in running costs by lawmakers. The constitutional oath of these office holders requires them to ensure transparency and accountability in the exact amount of salaries, allowances, and running costs that they receive." So the oath already requires that. So it is not out of place for them to say that Nigerians would love to know this, so they should make it public and they should submit it in the letter read in part. "We would be grateful if the recommended measures are taken within 7 days of receipt and or publication of this letter." So that's it. In 7 days, the SERAP have said that they shall take all appropriate legal actions to compel the National Assembly and other members, yes, of the National Assembly to comply with their request in the public interest. All right, I would like to start with you, Frank, on this story.
Well, I want to say this is something that all of us are fighting every day, but I want to say it's an exercise in futility.
Why? Why would you say that?
They are not the ones. They don't even go to the market. They don't go to the farm. They don't go to the river to catch fish to sell. Their money comes from source. So what are we saying? Ordinarily, later on we'll talk about allocation of going to all the states. There is a body involved or concerned in doing that. Even this particular case they are trying to introduce as if it's not a new thing. Was it 2 months ago? A lawmaker told us that he was receiving a monthly salary or whatever, take home, whatever, 21 million. And there was a kind of uproar.
That's where this also came from.
We don't need that. It's the money they are receiving comes from a source. But what we're discussing here, this issue of SERAP will never get anything from this case. If you are even giving them 7 days of ultimatum, for me, it's inconsequential. But ordinarily, in a society where we want things to be done, these people don't prepare their money. Like former governor of Central Bank, Lamido Sanusi, he said that the budget of Nigeria then, that the National Assembly took, I'm using the past now, 25% of the budget. So what we are discussing here, there is a calculation. They don't just take the money. Before the money goes to them, it will already be calculated. This is how. So from the source, it can be...
They are asking for accountability and transparency in the spending of that money.
Which money?
So it's not just... And remember what SERAP also said about them making it transparent and then not paying these monies into personal accounts.
I am confident that's where we are. See, what we call constitutional project, it is not constitutional matter. It's unconstitutional. I don't need to be a lawyer.
What is unconstitutional now?
It's not constitutional. Exactly? The money that they are asking for. It's unconstitutional. The money that is being given to them, even what we call constitutional project, is not backed by constitution.
Running costs not backed by constitution?
You don't understand me. the money they are saying they should give account for.
Yes.
Ordinarily is what you and me. Well, you don't get me clearly. Ordinarily, the money is coming from a source. This is how the money should be spent. You are asking them to give you the detail of how they are spending. To who? It's already there prepared. They already want to what SERAP is trying to do is say, give us, publish it. Which ordinarily, what you call freedom of there's a law passed about 2-3 years ago. You can apply.
Freedom of information.
Yes, bill. You can apply, but no, you can apply and get whatever you want to get from them. Not for them to come and make it public.
They already made reference to the fact that their oaths that they actually swore while coming into office has already dictated that they will make it, they will be accountable and they will make it transparent to the public. But let me get the sort of a key on this one.
See, SERAP, you've done well. But I also like to say that SERAP as an organization should also take a lead by publishing what they generate and how they spend their money, so that it will be very, very inspiring for us to commend what they are saying. That is not in any way saying that what they are trying to say is not bad, that is not good. It's a good request. But we also like to understand that when we talk about constitution, most times people tend not to understand that when a new assembly, a new Senate or National Assembly is inaugurated, they come up with new bills. Those bills becomes acts. They may not yet be enshrined in the Constitution, but every new laws that National Assembly makes or the State Assembly makes, it becomes a law. So you may go and read the 1999 Constitution as amended or 2000 and whatever as amended, forgetting that there are new acts.
Do you have a new act that counters what the one that they made reference
to? No, I'm only just speaking generally.
Do you have any one that you're making reference to that counters the referral of SERAP?
No, I can't stay here. I'm always speaking from what I understand, because they cited the Constitution. I'm also trying to give SERAP more assignment to also go and check if there are new acts or new bills that empowers the National Assemblies to do that. We have a country where when issue comes up, that's when you begin to understand some hidden laws that is not known to the public. So I would like to say that one, the Senate President, the National Assembly leadership, we believe that they are men of integrity, because our National Assembly and the Senate is a respected chamber, place that is made up of respected Nigerians. I want to encourage that peradventure, which I think that what SERAP is saying may not be completely correct, because I assume that our National Assembly knows the law and they will not intentionally want to abuse the law.
What exactly are you making reference to when you say what SERAP says might not be correct? They have different clauses in that letter.
That they are not supposed to allocate their expenditures, right?
They're not supposed to pay in the running costs in their personal accounts. Is that the one you're making reference to?
Several. One, they're not supposed to allocate money to themselves.
Okay.
Two, they're not supposed to pay in this money to their personal account. I do not really know what the law states, that a lawmaker cannot receive his salary into his personal account.
Not his salary.
When you say running costs,
yes.
You know, running costs ought to be defined. Your salary is part of running costs.
When the lawmaker who mentioned 21 million naira that got everybody talking, you know, we've also heard talks about their salaries being around 1 million naira. We've heard different amounts now. So when you now talk about 21 million naira, that's different allocations and running costs coming into the picture.
The National Assembly went on to debunk that that particular lawmaker came into National Assembly late, and there were allowances accrued to him.
Because he came in late.
Because he came in late. So those period of...
late allowance.
No, if you are a National Assembly member, even if the court brought you after like 1 year plus, your entitlement as a National Assembly member will be given to you.
People have been talking about reducing the cost of government. Before I get please come in.
Let me say something.
Yes, please.
See, this is not issue to be overflowed. This money we are discussing, there is a body involved in budgeting of the money made for the National Assembly, even how it should be spent.
Exactly.
That is how it is done. Now, what SERAP is also demanding is demanding this is because of the secrecy involved in some of these things. But for me, ordinarily, this shouldn't call for this serious argument. It should be, this is the chart. Because the issue is that when you consider what they take home, it's not like their salaries, if we may talk, even as a governor, the salary is not also too big. But when you consider all other things not mentioned, not even allowance, all other things not mentioned in the law, but that is what the also side is trying to probe into, to see how do you, in a month, you get such amount. Because ordinarily, they may have interest. To interest is not salary. To run the affairs of the National Assembly, you know, there are some of them also want to have a constituency office. The money given to them, do they even use it to do what is right? But for me, looking at what is happening in this country, this may not yield any tangible result. Rather, it will make us to talk as we are talking now. This money, whatever money they are using to run the National Assembly, there are people that are actually preparing it. There is what you call it, a voucher. There is everything prepared, whether monthly or annually. That is how National Assembly is going to spend its money maybe in a year. So I don't feel that ordinarily the information law that has been passed gives room for SERAP to write and say, give us this. It's not, they cannot, I will not even subscribe to the issue of publishing it.
All right,
but they can get from this assembly, they can go to the National Assembly management and say, give us our.
Provide it. Okay. Do you also see this as an action in futility?
Well, I believe that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Tajudeen, they are responsible leaders. The House is a responsible House. So they will do the needful. If it is necessary for them to respond the way SERAP has talked about, they will.
All right.